Let's go ahead and talk about market structure and understanding really what it means. The market goes through cycles, right? So if you're going to be engaged in an active participant trading securities or stocks, for example, uh, in a market, you really want to be understanding how the market flows, right? Some of the best traders have this intuition about, um, which way a stock is going based on supply and demand, price action, volume, and a number of other indicators, right? But what's clearly evident is there's always kind of this market structure being developed on really any time frame, whether it's a 1 minute chart, hourly chart, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, and whatsoever. So I'm going to show you a couple examples, but what I really wanted to help you understand, whether you are new, intermediate, or expert professional trader, is that the market does shift and tend to move around in cycles. And that is part and parcel because of supply and demand features, but also because certain traders, whether it's short term or long term or mid range traders that maybe just are swinging for a day or two uh, positions, um, everybody's kind of watching different levels at different times. Major support levels, major resistance levels, breakout levels, breakdown levels, and everything in between. So what happens is because there's so much activity around these levels and there's so much trading going on within these levels, it essentially manifests into what we call market structure, right? So let's take a look at a couple examples. So let's just look at the top 3% gainers from today. All right. So we have IPHA. Now, if we were to just go to an hourly chart, so 60-minute chart, we can kind of see that, it's been kind of actually trending downwards for quite a bit from earlier this year, right? And then it kind of reverses, but as it kind of reverses, we can kind of see this upward trend, right? And this upward trend at some point breaks out right around here, and then it comes back down, and then it continues to trend back up, right? So if we see a daily chart, we can kind of see that this huge breakout, right, came out and hit previous highs going back to 2020, all right? So let's take a look at APOP, all right? Same sort of thing, right? 1 hour chart, and if we go back a little bit, we can kind of see again, it continues to rise here, has a huge spike, gets smashed down, has another spike, then continues on this kind of long-term trend before we get this huge breakout that actually retests the previous high from April, right? And you can kind of see there's trends all along through here, right? So this is one long-term trend, and if you were to test the previous highs, we can kind of see this long-term ascending triangle with eventually it breaking out. All right. Now let's talk about EMVB, for example. This is another one for today. So again, 1 hour chart, we can kind of see it tests this high, it broke through this high, tests this high, gets smashed back down, and then makes its rebound, and then not only tests the high, but it breaks out today. And if we were to look at a daily chart, right, we can kind of see there's really no overhead resistance up until about 361, right? So this is very true when it comes down to the minute chart, for example, right? So if we look at the minute chart, we do see structure. You always want to be asking yourself, where is the stock coming from? What is it doing now? And where is it likely headed? So even on a 1 minute chart, we can kind of see this long-term trend, right? And it actually kind of operates within this channel for quite a bit and then breaks the channel and creates new support levels. Okay, now let's look at APOP. So APOP kind of gets smashed down today, almost retesting the previous close. And then IPHA, you can kind of see, so this is yesterday and this is today, right? So even today, if we use our Fibonacci tool, right, we can take the swing low to the swing high. We can see a breakout here, and then it makes another attempt here. And then, of course, when we use our extensions show us where we can take profits. And in this situation, it clearly went above the 1.618 extension level. But again, if we were to draw it back out, we can kind of see where it was headed, right? It was trying to retest that previous high,